That's right.
Oops. All right.
All right. Can you guys hear us now? Is that better?
Better.
Better? Worse?
Matt, lean a little bit to your right.
Oh, yes.
So you're not
I'm out of shot.
There
We
you go.
love being out of shot.
There we go.
All right. How's?
Can you guys hear us now? Ah!
We can hear you now. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was rushing to do this because I was up at Gettysburg with Little Wars. Can you turn that down, George? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
No one likes to hear themselves in stereo. It's not fun.
Here, he doesn't know how to turn it down.
Smash that mute button.
Figure out which one.
No one likes to hear themselves in stereo.
Top button.
Smash that mute button. Yes, we're going back to 1. We're going to figure this out.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, first positions, everyone.
It's live TV.
All right, that was live TV, Saturday Night Live. All right, I can all hear us now. Great, thanks, guys. So welcome to the Thursday night live stream here at Mark's Game Room, where we just invite you in to play games with us. And if you watched our Pacific Theater kind of showcase video, where Peter kind of wanted to join our group, and he brought a huge collection of 28mm figures that he painted just to make the collection, but really had no idea what he wanted to do with it. And so we asked you to vote, what rules should we try? And overwhelmingly, I would say, you wanted us to try Chain of Command 2. So tonight we're going to try it. This is John. He's also kind of a new person gaming with us here. He kind of knows Chain of Command, right?
Yeah, played version 1 for a couple years, enjoyed it a lot. Been reading version 2, so hopefully we won't make too many mistakes tonight.
Right, we'll see what version 2 is like. And Matt's never played it.
Not even once.
So there you go. He's going to give you a fresh take on the rules.
That's right.
Eventually we'll try a few others, and then as a club we'll kind of maybe do a little roundup of everything we tried, and then Peter will make his decision on what rules he kind of wants to do, which is really great.
Well, I'm excited to learn it tonight.
Yes. And then a quick plug for our Patreon. We got a lot of great stuff on it. We just released our podcast about making a scenario about the battle for Castle Itter. It's really
It's
cool.
Austrian.
And if you watched our Dan Sickles at Gettysburg video, I'm doing a little follow-up on that with Jim Hessler, the historian. He kind of talks about what was right in the scenario, what maybe wasn't right, and we react to your comments. And he gave me an autographed copy of his Peach Orchard book, and we're going to be giving it away to one of our Patreon members. So join Patreon, and you might win that. All right, so we're going to play Chain of Command 2.
Another quick plug, too. Yeah. Austin and I were on Jared Fishman's 20-Sided Gamified podcast yesterday, and it sounds like Jared is who we played against with his team, 20-Sided Gamified, when we released that Sickles video. So he wanted to interview some of us afterwards just to talk about our experience. Yeah. And it sounds like that podcast is releasing next Thursday-ish or end of next week around when Historicon is happening. So look out for that.
All right, I haven't heard it either.
There you go. Mark's in the dark.
Yeah, oh my God. First heard here.
Yeah. All right, great. So also, if you're in the comments and you know Chain of Command, sound off in the comments if we're doing something wrong, or if we have a question we might ask you.
I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. So the scenario, just to lay it out, I guess, we here pride ourselves on doing well-researched historical battles. So in Chain of Command, one of the things you can do is you pick a type of battle that they have kind of a pre-programmed thing, and you go at it. You can do historical stuff, but for tonight, we set up the board to kind of mimic Peleliu with Eugene Sledge. If you watch the Pacific, they fight off a Japanese armored infantry counterattack that comes across the airfield, which is this. This is kind of a quick setup for us, not the most beautiful board, but it's okay. So that's the setup, but we're going to use attack and defend from the rule book, and we'll have a mortar for Eugene Sledge. So there we go. All right, guys, take it away.
All right. Well, you're the boss here because I don't know how to play this game. So let's hear how we start off.
All right, a lot of pressure. So, so as part of going through, like I said, we already talked a little bit about the terrain, and I think you can see most of it. We're calling the buildings hardcover. We're calling the mortar artillery strikes or pits in the airfield as hardcover because we figure the concrete and stuff like that in there.
It's pretty messed up ground.
Yep, and then the woods will be considered level 1 cover. And then we have some rock formations that we're going to call hardcover also as part of the rules set.
So we should talk about our orders of battle. So what are you working with over there?
I took it off of, give a shout out to the Lord America crew. I pulled it off of their Facebook site. It's the Japanese infantry platoon for 1944 and 45, which comes with the 2 senior leaders and then 3 squads. The squads are made up of a junior leader, an LMG, and then 6 riflemen.
Oh yeah, let's get the platoon on camera.
Get this. Can you punch in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna give you a beautiful
Yeah.
up close and personal look on our Japanese order of battle for today.
Yeah, so we have the senior leader with the samurai sword, the 3 squads with the LMG team and their crew, the 6 riflemen, and then we have the grenade discharge squads, the 3 of them back here. And then when we rolled the support points, Matt was kind enough to allow me to get all 3 tanks. I was 1 point short, but he
seemed
being
appropriate
a good sportsman
historically,
for the
yeah.
historical event, because there was 3 of those tanks there, so we got all 3 tanks. That's for our force. And then I'll turn it. You want to go over to Matt's force over there?
All right. It looks like we're looking at their backs, so forgive us for that one. But once we get over there, I think you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, that this is a standard Marine platoon with plus. All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're on them. Great. So we have. I'll walk over. You can see my hands in action over here.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So we've got. It looks like we have a lieutenant who is a senior leader and a platoon sergeant, also a senior leader, both M1 carbine equipped. And then we have rifle squads, 3 of them. Each one of them is comprised of the squad leader and an assistant squad leader. And then they also have 2 teams. Each of them has a BAR and 4 riflemen. So we got 3 of that. A lot of firepower in these squads. And then I've had enough points to buy a bazooka, which is one of our very few ways of dealing with those tanks, reliable ways. And then we have Eugene Sledge on the 60mm mortar, as he was historically. And then we had just enough points left over to buy a satchel charge, which there actually is my first question in the chat. How does the satchel charge work? Do I issue it to a squad, to a fire team? What is that? What does it do? I really need an answer because we don't have a lot of ways to deal with these tanks. So let me know in the comments. All right, so that's our order of battle.
Yeah, that would be very, very helpful on the satchel charge. Of course, I did a lot of reading this week, and of course, Matt picks one thing that I didn't read about, and
that's right. That's how I do.
To make it more interesting to figure it out. So then those are the forces. The next step then is placing the objectives, and Matt has placed his 2 objectives on the table, which are the small stars on his side of the table. Which
yes.
is the far
You can
side.
also tell me how bad when I do that was. My thought was keep them relatively close together. I have a small force, limited anti-tank capability, so we kind of have to keep everything close if I want to fend off this armor.
Yep. So the next phase was, now we have to go to the patrol phase. So if people familiar with chain of command, I've heard about the patrol phase, so we are going to try to walk through the patrol phase. In this case, for attack and defend, Matt as the defender gets 3 patrol markers, which he will place on his side of the table, 12 inches in. And obviously they still have to be within 12 inches of each other. And then I get the 4, and I have to they have to start within 9 inches of each other, I think, was it by the thing?
While you look that up, I'll say in the chat I noticed that the fantastic painter and owner of this collection, Pete, is in the chat. So say hi to Pete and thank him for letting us use these minis. He had to take time off to be with his newborn. So much more important things than wargaming. But we appreciate him calling in so that he can see what's going on.
Yeah, so my patrol markers will start on my table edge, but they have to be 9 inches apart. So we separate them out, and we got those out.
Okay, now do I place mine?
Then, yeah, go ahead and place yours.
Okay.
And then we'll go back. I think the last thing we have to do is a roll for our morale for our units.
So the rule for me placing them is they just have to be within 12 inches of my table edge, is that right?
Yeah, you get to go 12 inches in, and then you can set them up
Within a foot of each other?
Within a foot of each
Okay.
other.
So we could start one here, we could start one here, and we could start another on this terrain. Okay. We have our lovely markers.
And as we flip through the book, we're going to quick look for rolling our force morale so we can put that on our trackers, which we have over on the other side of the table. So if you happen to have the rule book at home, it's on page 20. So it'll be a single D6 die, and we'll roll for our force morale.
Okay.
To start with. So go ahead.
Your D6.
My,
I'll toss mine into the table. What are we working with today? It's a 6.
6.
Pretty good start.
yeah, force morale of 11. So you, on your place, you will start with a force morale of 11. So we'll go over there. And then,
Do I note that somewhere, or do I?
yeah, we'll note it over on our tracker over there. And
Okay.
then
Oh, you're quite good as well.
I
5.
roll a 5, which gives me a 10. And one of the other things too is if you look on your chart there too, you have national characteristics on your infantry chart over there. One of the national characteristics of the Japanese is I get to add +1 to my force morale. So that also, so we both get put at 11, which we're pretty much starting at the max points for this game. So if part of the issue is the capture an objective, we're forcing my morale down to a point where I quit.
Got it.
This is definitely going to allow us to slug it
It's
out.
a determined attack and a determined defense.
Yes.
And we like it that way. All right, we're going to mess around with making sure that we have a good shot of, it sounds like that force morale tracker, where we now have our wonderful high morale. Our rolls are making your baby cry. That's awful. They were good rolls. Unless you're unhappy that the Japanese rolled so high, in which case I am too. I appreciate that. All right.
And as Matt as the defender, he actually gets to start with the chain of command dice. So the chain of command dice, he actually gets to start with 3 points.
Okay.
So if we go back and we look at our handy chart on here, the command dice gives you options to do things. So like 1 point, you could react to do a recce action,
Okay.
react to fire, hit the dirt, reposition your force. That's 3 points, which is kind of one of the new rules that the large group added, where it allows you to get your guys out of a bad situation. Because before, when they'd get pinned in that, they could get stuck in a bad position, and then you could really start isolating them.
Right.
Using 3 chain of command allows you to move them out of that harm's way
Sure.
and back to a safe position so they can reform and rejoin the battle.
I guess here there isn't a lot of place to go.
No.
They could maybe fall back behind the terrain feature,
Yes.
which is good to know.
Well, and I think it's probably going to affect me more as my lead elements try to go across this dangerous terrain. So then we will put this chain of command dice over there on your side.
Okay. I'm excited to use it. All 3 of those points. I see almost every action costs 3 points except a recce action.
Yeah, and then you, correct. But during the course of the game, you can earn. So like every time you roll a 5 on your dice.
Wow. Okay.
When we roll our five command dice, because each platoon has 5 command dice. So if I roll a 5, that gives me a point.
Got it.
If I roll 2 6s, which then I retain the initiative, you get a command point. So there you can earn command points throughout the game to continue to give you flexibility.
Love it. Love it.
Let's get on with whatever the
All right.
next thing is.
Patrol phase. So since we're both tied for
It's probably attacker wins then, right?
yeah.
After who wins a tie?
Who's winning a tie on morale? Everyone's so excited to be here.
Let's just say you attacker.
Attacker moves first.
Sounds
On
great.
page 22.
Sounds great.
All right.
All right, that's over to you with your lovely German markers.
Well, I didn't have any Japanese markers.
We'll ignore those German markers.
I have to admit, never ever played in the Pacific Theater, so I'm curious to see how this all works out tonight myself. I have a good collection of German and French in 28.
Ooh, love it.
But yeah, this is definitely
Early war, late war?
I can do French from early war, North Africa, into European theater.
Ooh,
So it's
they're
pretty
like
good-
British and American equipped French?
yeah. Early is British equipped, late French equipped.
Love it,
I
love
mean
it.
American equipped. Yep. So
Love it.
so then so you had yours set up there.
Yes.
So then I would move trying to keep my markers together.
Okay, and how far do you move?
I have to stay within 12 inches, so I have to keep that 12.
Oh, you kind of just maneuver them however you want, keeping them in 12 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and when do they become visible? Like, when does this sort of dynamic change?
We keep moving until we come in within 12 inches of each other. And like, so that this point and this point are within 12 inches, that's considered locked down. Those 2 points cannot move anymore. We continue to move the others until one side or the other is completely locked down. And then that ends the patrol phase. So then you would go ahead. Now I moved one. Now you.
Oh, we trade off.
Trade off. Now we.
Do I have to move one?
Yeah.
Yeah, just move one.
I guess.
Okay. Because I probably don't want to go anywhere, right?
Well, you want to move forward enough so that when you do the angles and you lay down your jump off points, you'll be able to place your jump off points behind the appropriate cover and stuff.
Got it.
Otherwise, what would happen is all your jump off points would be at the back edge of the table.
So I'm not necessarily going to deploy everyone where these markers end up. I just want them forward enough to give me options.
Yeah,
right?
We'll go into the second phase and show
Okay.
you how you get your options.
Got it. So I'm backing up here. So I move a single marker, but I have to have everything remain within 12 inches of each other.
You
by
got to
doing it.
keep them all within 12.
And I move it 12 inches or 9 inches?
12.
Okay, so we're going to just jump out into the open here, which seems sad, scary, unfortunate, but I'll make it work.
You should just stay over here, Matt.
Okay.
Just stay on
Okay, then I'll move my next one. We'll try to
All right.
be quick here.
We'll go 9 inches. Over to you.
Okay, I'll move that one up. Go your turn.
Okay, we'll move. Looks like I'm just in, so we'll move another 9 inches.
So then I'll move that 12.
So am I going to be able to deploy behind all of my markers? Is that kind of how it works? Or am I within
Yeah,
range of my
so
markers?
once it gets done is what you do is you pick, like, say the patrol phase stopped at this point.
Yeah.
And say, okay, I'm going to pick this marker. Then you would do an angle from here and here back.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you can borrow that real quick. And then you would set up your jump off point between these two vectors behind a point of cover or it has, or like say the cover was right here, you'd have to place it 6 inches behind the cover, but because the jump off point has to be 6 inches from the marker, but between the vector of you tracing back to 2 of my points.
Got it. So I want them as far forward as I can get them, just to give me options.
Give you options.
Okay, got it. I'll take a really back. Thank you.
There you go.
So we'll get our 9 because, 12, sorry, because now I can't advance too much more. Are we within 12 yet? Not quite, just now.
No. So then,
So this one is
then
locked down,
yeah.
right?
So
It's
these
done.
2 get locked down.
Great. So I have to stay within 12 of this guy, but he can move up to here. And I probably don't want to lock down, so I probably want to do something like that.
Yeah.
So can I now move outside of 12 of this?
No, you still have to
retain.
You still have to keep them connected.
Got it. So you've moved within 12 of me, so they're both locked,
Yep,
right?
those are both locked down. Yep.
Okay. So is this one, if I moved up, would I lock down off of you?
Yep, and then that
Okay.
stops the actual.
Can
that
I-
actually stops the patrol phase.
So I could do like that and lock
Well,
them down.
you still can't move within 12. You have to stop once.
you have to stop at the moment of 12. Okay.
When when the marker reaches 12 points for another patrol, it immediately halts and
So we'll do that.
yeah, and locks it down. So yeah, so then that's the patrol phase ends. That part of the phase ends,
Okay.
and then we're basically locked down to where we're at. Now, this is where then we go on to placing your jump off points, which I think we each get. Go back to.
I'm excited for these. The much anticipated jump off point. All right, you in the comments can tell me how bad of a job I just did. We'll take a look.
Satchel charge. There you go. Pat G. Satchel charge given to a
Section. It's a
Needs
leader
a
to
leader
use.
order to use. Rule 16.44.
Restrict
Don't
with teller
restrict
mine.
with teller mine is 5, so at least that.
So a section is like a squad, or it's an element?
Correct. No, a squad.
It's a whole squad. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That,
So we'll do the one with all the prone people. That's Mr. Satchel Charge.
All right.
What are these for?
So those are your jump off points.
Okay.
So we each get 3. And then as the attacker, then I will place my first one. So then what I would do is, like, it goes back to getting that angle off of 2 of yours. So let's say I want to use this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one angle there and the one angle there. So now I can place the jump off point. It has to be placed behind cover. So then I'd place my first jump off point there because it's between the angle. It's 6 inches back from the patrol marker and it's behind cover. So then I can place it there.
Okay.
And now you would then do a similar thing.
Take a ruler. So I don't fully understand. Where is the angle? Obviously, it has to connect to another one. So
Well, no, so you pick your one jump off marker, and then what you do is you pick 2 of my objectives
yours.
that are near each other. So, like, let's just move over here for simplicity. So it's like, so you can pick these 2 or you can pick these 2. But as you
And
see,
then you make that
if
angle.
I go like that and like that, then now you can place your jump off point anywhere back.
Okay, so if you put
behind
it
you.
back, I only have one option, I think, because yours are in a line from me.
Yeah, that
So,
kind of.
For like this guy, for example, if I could have one ruler back, it would look like that, so that my angle is like here.
Yeah, it'd be
That's
very
useless
narrow
to me.
because you're doing this one and these 2. So
Right.
you can see
So this one is a better. Oh, it may not be. Yeah, it's a better angle. So that gives me
a lot wider.
like a lot to work with. So that's probably what I'll take. So then I take one of these markers and I put it somewhere in cover or behind cover.
The original rule said behind cover, and I think it's still behind cover here.
Okay.
Jump up point players 6 inches away from the patrol marker, or at the edge of table, or behind cover, or at the edge of table if no cover is available.
Great. So we'll put it right there behind cover.
You're good.
Okay. Back over to you.
And then since I already used that one,
Oh, you can only use each one once.
So what do you think so far?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused, but I think I'm getting it.
not quite specific on that. So
Okay. No worries.
so then I'll just do
It's probably better to have to pick different angles every time.
like
Spread
that,
the force out.
which would allow me. Well, actually, would force me to kind of go.
Well, you could be behind this tree. Oh, you can't be next to another you're going
No, I
marker?
could, but it doesn't pay for me to do that. So let me look here, and I'll think about, like, I'll use that one and that
We've
one.
already confounded the Japanese. Our plan is working.
Yes. Well, it makes it tough. So I guess I'm gonna have to go back to the edge of the table on this one.
Okay. I'll take a ruler again, please. So is this legal? I could do like that, and I'm left with that angle.
Yeah, those 2 angles.
So I
go
can
in.
sit like there, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. And now use those 2.
And then for my other one, I'm just gonna have to go on the edge of the table over here because I can use that one, which then would allow me to do there. So then those are my 3
So then I have to do
jump
this.
off points.
I'll take a ruler again. This is a very thin angle, so it would put me somewhere like there. So these 2 will be close to each other. That's fine by me. Okay.
So Matt, point out where all your jump off points are.
Yes. Is the camera on them?
Yes.
Okay, so we have one jump off point. They're kind of more or less where I thought they would end up. We have one that's behind this hardcover, ready to take advantage of it, and then we have 2, unfortunately a little clustered together in this wood line. The good news is he doesn't have a mortar, so we should be okay.
No
John,
mortar.
Where are your points?
So I got one jump off point behind this set of soft cover, another jump off point behind this soft cover, and then one back behind the buildings. But since I couldn't place it actually behind the cover, I had to place it on the table edge back here.
So I think the thing that I accomplished that I didn't know I needed to accomplish, but is becoming clear to me.
Oh, you come back around.
Move in the middle or go back over there. Yeah.
The thing that I think was super important to get done here, that I'm glad did get done here, although I didn't know how to go about doing it, was to keep John from being able to set up in these craters. So
Yes.
having him all the way back here is about as good as it's going to get for me. So that at least I sort of accidentally wandered my way into doing that. So that's good.
Yep. So the only other thing I'll cover real quick too about the terrain is that these do block line of sight, but because they're not greater than 6 inches in length, once you move into it, you are visible from the enemy and you can shoot out from it.
Very good.
So it's a 6 inch because of the type of terrain. So.
All right.
Love it.
What's next?
So the next page, then we pick.
Putting stuff on the table.
Yep. Then we pick the patrol markers up.
Oh, already done with those.
We're
Very
done with
good.
those.
Start putting stuff on the table.
And then it starts with the attacker.
Okay. Oh, I get to see your deployment. That's good.
Well, yeah, I get to start with my first roll. So we start with what they call the first phase of the turn. We get basically five command dice, and each of the numbers represent one. So you roll a 1, that activates your team, which could be anything from like the Bazooka team, the small half of your section, because your sections are broken into 2 teams. I could activate a team. On a 2, that allows me to activate a whole section. On a roll of a 3, that allows you to activate your junior leaders, and each junior leader then they can give 2 commands.
Oh, wow. So they're like a force multiplier for
Yep.
your force. Great.
And then if on a 4, that's your senior leader, they can give 3 commands. And then and part of that too is they have commands that activate the section or team, and then you have a couple commands that don't activate it, so then you can actually activate them again later. So like rallying, transferring people within a team.
So receiving an order typically ends their turn, but there are a few orders like rallying that will not end the turn of the squad. Got it.
Correct.
Or the section.
Again.
Okay.
And then if you roll a 5, you get a chain of command point.
Oh.
If you roll 1 6, nothing happens. 2 6s, you retain the initiative,
Oh, got it.
and the opponent gets a command point. If you roll 3 dice,
3 6s.
3 6s, you retain the initiative again, and you get another chain. If I roll 4,
The turn ends, right?
on 4, the turn
4 of
ends.
them. 4 of them. Okay.
And
So
the-
you don't want to roll 4 6s.
and then that ends the turn and resets things like smoke barrages, artillery hits, and stuff like that. That ends those cycles.
Is there a
It doesn't-
turn limit in most of these games?
You can set it for a time, and they have a new rule, which I still don't quite, is that when you get to a certain point again, it causes a sudden death clock to start. I'm not 100% sure how that works out yet. I saw it in a couple of videos, but I just couldn't quite get the details.
We'll ask the chat if we get there.
Get there. So what I'll do is then I'll roll my dice.
Great. That's a couple 6s.
So yeah, 2 6s, so I'll get to retain the initiative.
That's good for the Japanese.
So he gets 1 command point over there
So
on
if
his
you could
green
flip
dice.
my green die to a 4.
4.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And then I get
Thank you.
2 on me, so I get, if you could, for the gray dice, please.
Oh, a
put,
new gray die that'll say 2
So
on it.
over there in the gray, if you just flip that to a 2 and put it on the center block there. Yeah, so I got 2. And then I basically got a junior leader.
Single junior leader. Got
So
it.
that junior leader can like bring the whole, since he's part of the squad, he can say, okay, you know what, squad, let's come on board.
So he only gives orders to his squad.
Yep.
Got it.
So I'll say, I'll just pick my first squad,
Love it.
get him on the table.
Ooh. Just dumped Japanese on me. That's a lot of dudes. And they come with their light machine gun, right? Their
Yeah,
whole
so
crew.
one of the things I could do, and we'll just jump into some of the rules, is,
Not him though, right? He's the senior leader. Or does he come with?
oh no, I did grab the wrong guy.
Oh,
Sorry about that. You can
no
put him
worries.
back. Thanks for keeping me honest. So you can place them within, I want to say, 6 inches of the jump off point.
Oh. Roll for dysentery, that's right.
It's not what that's.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to drink gas water for full immersion.
Right. So since they're coming on board with this,
was how
I
it
can
works.
immediately, I'm just going to go ahead and
Is that the focus button?
place them in the woods. And part of the new rules, and this is something I noticed, we can play it 2 different ways. One, you have to make sure
Do the outside
they have a
ring.
90-degree firing arc.
Focus, the outside ring. Yeah.
So when you put your squad out,
Until it comes all the way.
you're
Yeah, yeah.
the Lords wrote it as if you have to make sure each guy has a lane to fire.
Okay. Does facing matter? Does it matter where you're facing
So
the
yeah,
level?
it kind of does. So your weapon is kind of where
Wild.
your 90 degree is. So have a 90 degree arc of fire from each of these
Okay.
section, and then put this team here. And since these guys are crew, they don't really fire. But one crew member has to have the ability to have line of sight with the LMG. And then what I'll do is, since he's that guy, he can also give the order, because they can, when you deploy them, they can fire. But what I'm going to do is just to maybe mess with you so you can't come up to the wood edge. I'm immediately going to put some suppressive fire in that area in front of that lines up with one of your jump off points to keep you from deploying into
So if you want the jump off points, they're over here. I think.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to put
So you want it like that?
Yeah. So I'm going to cover that area with some suppressive fire. So if you decide to deploy in that wood line, you're going to be a -1 to your fire capability, because I'm already laying down some suppressive.
So that'll
fire.
affect anyone who's right behind that line, correct? Like exactly behind it?
Yeah, that
Okay.
area. It's
Got it.
I think in the rules it's like a 9-inch area. So whatever.
We'll just measure that as the center and do
Yeah,
9. Okay,
9
got it.
inches. All right.
Okay.
First
So
deployment.
that was in total, that was your junior officer issuing 2 commands, 1 move, 1 suppressing.
Well, free to come on. So technically he has another order to issue, but
Got it.
Yeah, the coming on, that's
just
happens.
happens. Okay. When you activate him,
Right.
his men can come on.
right.
Okay. And then 1 order was used for suppressing fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do anything with the other order, or you're happy to burn it?
Let me just let's double check something. So I'm trying to remember, because for the suppressive fire, I might have had to give an order to each team of the section to do suppressive fire, unless someone's already caught that for me.
When an objective marker is captured, or a mission. Oh, and you have to spend 3 points to activate it. Interesting.
Did you guys put objective markers on it?
Yep,
I did.
yes.
There are 2 objective
So once
markers.
they're captured.
Yes.
Oh, it is done. It was.
Yeah. All right. Matt, what other World War II games did you play?
What are the World War II games that I played? I played a lot of Fireball Forward. Big surprise. I'm in the House of Mark. And it probably is my favorite by a long shot. I have played a little bit of Bolt Action at a tiny mini convention, but it was not World War II Bolt Action. It was kind of a house-ruled Russian Civil War Bolt Action, which was very cool. What else have I played? Not a lot.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
you know what we're doing?
Yeah, so that was just the 1 hour. We'll do that. That's the section's doing the suppressive fire there.
Okay.
So roll again.
So now we're in your second roll because
Yep.
you kept initiative.
Initiative, yeah.
Okay.
So I got 2 senior leaders,
Oh, a better roll for you to do things. I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
and then a section,
Mm-hmm.
and another junior leader.
Wow. And a 5 gives you another point, right?
Another point on my chain of
So
command die.
his chain of command is 3 to my 4, I think.
Yeah. So at this time, I don't want to necessarily bring my senior leader on yet, because of the fact that if I do that, then I have to make a roll to bring the rest of the force on. So having a senior leader, since I only have 1 senior leader, it's kind of important for me to keep him off the board till I have a majority of my force.
So he can basically
Deploy.
issue orders to people when he's off board to tell them you come on. Like when you rolled your 4s.
They're just more confident because there's a senior leader back there directing the forces to come on
As long as he's
board.
off table, he sends them in more easily.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
got
you
it.
don't have like a junior leader back there telling the force what to do, then of course everybody's like, hey, am I supposed to
Maybe I
go?
don't show up,
Yeah,
I
don't
guess. I
show
don't
up.
know, yeah. Okay, so
So we're gonna bring another section.
So that's with your senior leader or with your junior leader or with your section?
I'm gonna do a section.
Okay, so burn the section, right?
Yeah.
Great.
And they're just gonna come on again. I'm just gonna have them start moving towards the building here.
So they get a single order because they use just the section command?
Yep, that's it.
So they'll be able to move and do something.
The movement is them coming on.
The movement is the order?
Yeah, the deployment is considered a move.
Okay, so they won't be able to do anything once they
I can't move again.
Okay.
Upon
Can
the
they do
initiative.
anything else? Like
They could
suppress?
fire.
Okay, so they still have 1 order left. Got it.
Yeah, they could fire, but the suppression order is issued by a leader
Oh, so they can't because they don't have a leader or because they took a section command?
because of section command. Yeah.
Got it.
Now I may be getting some of this wrong, so definitely
And
correct
this
us in
team
the chat.
can't be activated again because they've taken an order, or they can?
No, they can't take any more orders because he
Okay.
directed them to do the suppressive fire.
Got it. So
now-
they're done for now until
Yep.
my turn.
Yep.
All right, very good.
Okay, I see some guys moving into place behind a building, which is scary because I can't see them at all. I'm not even deployed. I can't see anything.
I think he's.
All right, what do we got
I
next?
think he's an extra guy.
Keep it going.
So let's see
And
what's
then-
in
so
what's in
that.
the chat here.
So then that's that. So
What
now,
we got?
so now it would go over to you. So the other thing too, just for you guys. So say you roll.
So you chose not to use all those orders?
You don't have to, and you don't have to deploy anybody on either. I could just say, you can decide. You can hold the guys off table as long as you want.
Got it.
You can bring them on at any point you think is deemed necessary. Knowing I have to come across the field, I'm going to start. I got to get moving.
Yes.
you for safety reasons, stuff. You can hold yours off until you actually until I'm getting to the point where I have to deploy.
Right. Does your suppressive fire marker ever go away?
Let's move on. Let's
So
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We'll look
so
it up
I'm
later.
just gonna deploy some guys. So let's have them.
Yeah. So you'd roll the
opening.
dice.
Oh yes, I need to roll my 5 dice.
And the other thing is too, like if you get a 1 and a 2, you can combine them and make up a 3, and a
wow.
junior leader given order.
This game is a lot. All right, so
Yeah,
we
there's a
rolled.
lot of options.
We rolled 1 6, which I recall is useless to me.
Use it?
We rolled 2 5s, which give you.
No, gives you
Gives me 2
more-
extra points.
Yep,
So I think
now
I
you
have
you have a
6.
full command dice now.
A full. Okay, and
Which
I
gives
can't get
you-
any more.
No,
right?
you can get another one.
Great. So I'm sitting on a lot, like a
Lot
mine
of
of,
vers-
of
yes,
reserve
A
points.
versatility points.
All right, so I have a 2 and a 3. The 3 is a junior platoon,
Junior leader,
a
yeah.
junior leader. So I will
Who's
have.
in charge of the section?
Yes, I will have a junior leader show up. We're gonna have him show up in the hardcover back here. So I have to deploy within 6 inches of that marker. Is that correct?
No further than 6 inches away from that marker. You can deploy right on the marker.
Okay.
You can deploy right into the hard cover.
We're gonna deploy where we're not being suppressed. And did you say cover is like an inch all around the cover?
The rules say 2 inches.
2 inches around the cover. Okay, so I could probably fit the whole.
As long as you're within
fire
2
team.
inches of that cover, you get it, and we can.
I'll endeavor to fit the fire team up front here in the cover. Okay.
But like I was talking about before, there's watching a couple of videos. Some people are going some with like rather than worrying about the individual line of sight of each figure, they're considering each team has fire integrity, and they can do it. So I've already seen.
I already am concerned about
Yeah.
the whole fiddliness of the 90 degrees, so that sounds great, but we'll proceed as we are.
Yeah.
So they've shown up. That was not an order. He still has 2 left, right?
If you're using the junior leader, yes.
The junior leader order. So he showed up. Can I now fire at that team,
Yep.
at that squad? Do I pick an element?
Because they're within 4 inches of each other,
I shoot the whole thing.
the
Okay.
section is intact.
I would like to shoot them. How do I do that?
Shut. Well, then that's where we go to the other table, and you would look at your LMG, which would be. Oh no, you have bars.
I have 2 BARs, and then
So those
8
are,
rifles.
So the bars are automatic rifles.
It's a lot of fire compared to the Japanese, I hope.
Yeah. So it's 4 dice for the bar, I think, because they're considered
So
automatic
8 because
rifles.
I get 2 of them?
Yep.
Okay, so
And
8
then-
dice plus, I'm assuming 1 die each for the rifles?
And then you're using, I guess they're M1 Grands.
Yes. So that's
And then
another
you
8
get-
dice?
You get 2 dice per infantryman.
Oh my gosh, so 16 plus 8 is 24 dice.
Yeah, you got 2 bars, yeah.
2 BARs and 8 M1 Garands. That's 16 dice. Okay. Let me get all the dice together. Get some more dice. Probably roll this in 2 sets of 8. 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, that's.
So
oh no, I
that's-
need 24.
Right.
Need
So
20.
the only thing we need to check is range.
Yes. Oh, could I lose dice for range?
No, you're not gonna lose dice, but it'll make it harder for you to hit me
Ah.
if
Okay.
you're over. So the effective range is.
I'm definitely outside of the 18.
12, and you're outside of 18. So then that.
and effective is over 18. I see. So I would
Yeah,
just get extra
So you're over.
bonus if I was
So
close.
it's called effective. So you basically need 5 and 6s to hit me.
Okay, let's get the bucket of dice. It is a large game. It's British. It involves a lot of dice. I'm gonna throw a lot of dice.
Oh.
And we'll. Okay, so I needed 5s and 6s. You said.
Yep.
We'll just cluster them to one side. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of 5s and 6s. Okay, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits.
12 hits. So then what we do is...
Statistically, a really good shot.
Yeah. So then we take those 12 hits.
Okay.
And then...
You roll saves for them? Is it one of those games?
Well, now it's just... Now, because I'm in cover, now we decide... And people have done this 2 different ways. Sometimes people let the guy getting hit to make that roll to cause their...
It sounds like
effect.
you should be making that roll, yeah.
So basically, I'm in light cover, so a 6 kills.
Only 1.
So 1 kill. So I'll definitely lose 1 guy. And then on light cover, a 4 and 5 are shock, so I get 1, 2,
Looks like 3.
3
shock.
Keith Burnett, who might or might not be Canadian, says Garans get 1 dice per figure, but they get Storm of Steel.
What is Storm of
So
Steel?
if you look at that chart,
Yeah,
it
this-
has Storm of Steel. On the Marine.
It just says Storm of Steel. It doesn't say what it
Well,
says.
anytime you roll a 6, you get to roll another hit dice.
Oh, so should we re-roll all that?
No, just keep going.
But it says firepower too, so that...
Oh, well, Keith Burnett, it says firepower too.
Do I also get Storm of Steel? It seems abusive.
Yeah, so if you had, let's say you had, we'll just say you had 5 6s, so yeah, go ahead and roll.
So these are just other potential hits.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Say you had 4 more.
Oh, 4 more. Okay. Oh, great. Okay, it looks like 3 more hits, potential
Yeah,
hits.
3 more potential hits. And actually, I think Storm of Steel, you get to roll the 6 again.
No, it doesn't. They're not assault rifles. They are self-loading rifles. There's a lot of debate.
Hold on, so where is it saying to have firepower of 2? Because
Well, rifle grenade, my fault.
Ah.
So they're saying assault rifle.
2-1. Okay, why don't we re-roll it?
All right, let's re-roll. Reset.
All
Thank
right.
you, everyone.
Thank you. So I should get 8 for the BARs,
Yep.
and I should get another 8 for the the rifles, Garans. But I should separate them, right? Because the BAR does not have Storm of Steel, I think. Do we have BAR in here?
No.
Is it an automatic rifle? Yes, it is. Oh no, it also has Storm of Steel, and it reduces
no, it
cover
doesn't.
by 1 level. Automatic rifle.
That's the rifle
Oh, I'm
grenade.
reading different line.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great. So let me roll the BARs first, because
Yep.
they don't have Storm of Steel. So we need 8 dice, 4 each for 2 BARs.
yeah, so Keith says roll them separately.
Yes.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. All right, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, because I'm looking for a 5 and higher, right?
So,
So
we'll
4
say,
hits.
We'll say 4. Now
Okay,
roll,
great.
Roll the,
And now Mr. Storm of Steel, which is also 8 dice, but this time they explode on 6s.
yeah, if
Should
you
be
get
great.
a 6, you get to roll again.
Okay, well, I got quite a few 6s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and
5
3 of
hits.
them are exploding. So we'll see if they generate any new hits. 1 of them generated a new hit, and I assume it only explodes once. So we'll give that 1 extra hit. So that's a 10 total, which is only a little worse than last time. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll give you your 10 dice for saves.
No, they keep rolling it then.
Oh,
They keep. Oh, I got 1 more shot at it. Didn't do it.
Didn't
So
do
we
it.
got our 10. Oh,
So
still 1 dead.
still 1 dead.
Same results.
Yeah, same results. And
And 3 shocked.
3 shock.
Great. So how do we determine who died? We don't know.
No, since the 2 teams are within 4 inches, I will
Yes.
pick.
You get to pick.
Okay. I'll just pick one of my crew for now because that doesn't affect the LMG and he can't shoot anyways.
Great.
And then I have to put at least 1 point of shock on each since
Mhm.
they're within 40, and then I'll put the other shock on.
So should I think of shock as like that unit doesn't do anything anymore? That guy doesn't
It starts
shoot?
affecting them. They're under fire now, so now
Okay.
that starts affecting their ability to shoot. It minus their movement capability. They're starting to feel the fatigue of combat.
I want to put more of those on you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that was 1 action.
You said something about you're supposed to roll per team. I don't know what that means.
We're gonna move past that for now.
Okay.
So I fired with both of my teams sections for this particular squad. I have 2 orders. What can I do with the second one? Are there any options for them, or they're kind of done?
Well, they fired some of the things like you can't rally.
Yeah, I don't need to.
You don't need to. You're too far away to throw a grenade because
Yeah.
a grenade's another thing that a leader can tell guys to do, and it doesn't count against
Don't need
their
that.
activation.
That's kind of it.
Their principal activation
Great.
done.
So I'm trying to remember what we had originally for my rolls. I know I used, this was the junior leader, and I know I had one section.
Yep.
So I may as well deploy the section.
Yep.
So we'll come around. And we'll get this section out. So it has to be within 6 inches of the marker, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And
That's
moving,
what I'm remembering.
moving doesn't count as an order for them? They kind of do that?
Yeah, the initial deployment doesn't count against you, but you actually you can't give them a move order either. They're kind of giving like a free move onto the board,
Mm-hmm.
but after that point you can put them in tactical. You can this is the section now, right?
This is the section order, because I still want them to shoot, is why I'm asking.
Yeah, you can shoot. Everybody can always shoot. So
Okay, so then can I also move them? Like I can deploy them 6 inches and then walk them up here, for example? Or no?
no. From my understanding is
They get deployed and then they do their thing.
They can fire.
Okay,
yeah.
great. So I'm going to deploy them 6 inches in to be away from your marker is actually quite large.
Yeah, it's 9 inches from the
So
sun.
if it's 9 inches sitting like 4.5 inches there, so it's like that.
Yep.
So I would have to be like at the very edge, and I'd probably be somewhat in it. So we don't care about individual men, right?
Yeah, no. In this case here, the individual men who are part of that spread, they would be at a minus.
Some of them would be
at
in their shooting.
Yep.
What does that mean, -1 shooting? It means they don't get to shoot because they only roll.
No,
one
they
card?
just it'd be like instead of needing a 5/6, they would need a 6.
Great. Okay, so we are going to deploy them. We're going to deploy them 6 inches up. So like that. And all their dudes. And they're probably all going to be inside of it, because that's a great suppression. Okay, and then they are going to also shoot at this squad that's arrived. Although I think probably all of them, it looks like all but like 3 of them are going to be within the, and I'll probably put the BAR in that group. All but 3 of them are going to be shooting with the -1.
Right, and then this zoom. Yeah.
Okay, so now that they've arrived, they're going to shoot. So the math, right, is they all roll the same number of dice, but I should separate the ones that hit normally, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 dice for the BAR, and then 2 individual riflemen. All right, so the 4 for the BAR that shoots normally, so still hitting on 5s and 6s.
Yeah, back it up.
I got 3 hits. That's
3,
pretty good.
yep.
So we'll put the 3 aside. And then 2 Garams. 1 more hit, and no exploding dice. Okay, now we have the ones that hit only on 6s, which is helpful because Garans do extra well there anyway. So the first is we'll have the other BAR. Didn't hit anything because he's looking for 6s, so that saved a guy. And then the other, I fired 2, so the other 6 Garans now hitting on 6s.
You're supposed to.
Totally missed. That would have been great if I could hit on 5s, but your suppression really saved you.
Yeah.
It saved you 3 hits. So you got hit 4 times, of which I think... Oh, now you make your saves. That's right. Whoa! 2 dead.
Yep, 2 dead.
Good result for me.
So 2 more guys die.
Okay, so I guess you get to pick, right?
Well, he's supposed to roll to see if the leader is one of them.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I think yeah. So the leader is effect on the leader. So since you hit me last time, I'll roll up for the last time.
Leader stunned.
He was stunned, and then I'll roll for this one.
If he's dead, it won't matter. Stunned again.
Stunned again, so he's going to be so stunned.
Leader's double stunned. He's stunning. Incredible. Can't get enough of it.
All right.
Yep. So then I got the stun marker.
Okay, and then 2 of your men die, but he's not one of them. So then you, I assume, get to pick the 2 guys who die.
Not quite.
Not quite.
So Keith says not quite. First roll to see if he's hit.
Oh, so you don't just roll to wound him. You just
Oh,
roll to
okay,
see if he got hit. Okay, so how do we decide if he got hit?
Hold on, I'm at the page. I just went too far. Yes.
Okay.
Stunning like Matt here.
Stunning. Incredible.
Target player rolls equal to or less than the number of figures that were killed.
So, okay. Yeah. So he says if you get 1 kill, then you roll a die to get a 1.
Okay.
So I got 2 kills, so you roll a die and a 1
the
or
first
a 2.
the first one I didn't. Or
Oh yeah, first one you rolled a 2, he's totally fine. Now maybe roll again, and if you get a 1 or a 2, you hit the leader. Or I hit the leader, I think. So he's good. Rolled a 6, the leader's fine.
Yeah.
So now you get to pick, I assume still, the 2 who died, because I did kill 2 more guys.
I guess this will be the leader. I forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
Him on the table, so he's between the 2.
You can do this guy, he looks super different. He has a different base and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so now do you take off 2 casualties?
That's what I was reading. Make sure I do that right.
Just ask Keith.
Yeah, Keith's read the rules better than I did.
Keith says...
Find a building.
We're waiting for Keith. He's a fast typer. I believe in him.
Yeah.
Who will win? One of us has a book. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, this is a lot of fire coming on you early, but I don't think I have a good understanding of how the turns work yet to know if I'm in trouble. So Keith says 2 figures are dead. Okay. There's a lot of fire in this poor little squad in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so they'll go down.
Hallelujah. It's rough. The tanks haven't come on yet. I'm worried about them. All right, so that I think is probably my turn, because I don't think I rolled anything else useful. So that's back over to you.
So then we'll get...
So I think in this scenario of attack defend, the attacker has to capture one of those.
You have to capture it within a turn, which we've had a turn now.
No.
It hasn't ended.
Turn is when you get 4 6s.
Or like technically you could use your 6 points there and end the turn right now.
So I can just say turn ended.
Yep.
But the only thing that would gain me is remove one of the 2 objectives,
yeah.
which I don't particularly care. They're really close to each other.
Yeah.
I might do that if you get close to 1.
Or just wait till we roll the 3.
Right. Save
I think
points.
it's 3.
Yeah. Well, we can. It's definitely more than 2, which is what we've had so far. Okay. If you want to roll your set. Not even close to any 6s. So we got 2 1s, a 2, a 3, and a 5. So the 5 means you get a point. So if Gray can get an extra die, or an extra 1 on their die, and then that's a lot of like individual section control.
So we might as well just bring them on, and
tanks are coming.
Tanks will come.
I reminded him of the tanks.
Yeah. Tanks will come on. If you have a road, the tank would normally come on at the point of the road.
Okay.
Within that. The road is sort of the jump off for the tank. But in this case, since there is no road, they just come on anywhere on the table edge.
Ooh.
So since I rolled 2 1s and they're teams, I'll use that for them.
They're like sections?
They're teams.
Teams,
Each
okay.
is a team.
Got it. Okay.
So
all they can do is just come on? They can't do anything else?
Each tank has, I can use them as a team or this tank... They also have junior leaders, so I could actually use a 3 of the junior leader too.
Okay.
To do that. So,
okay.
But in this case, since I got 2 1s, I'll use those.
Mm-hmm.
Then, since my leader wasn't stunned, I'll use the 3 over here on them, where he can take 1 point of shock off.
So he's rallying right now, which is the thing he can do when he doesn't have any orders left, or even if they've already gone.
It doesn't cause an activation.
Okay.
And since they already used the suppressive fire, that would come up.
Okay.
But then what I can do now is...
Are you going to put it back?
He uses 1 order to pick it up. I mean, 1 order to pick up 1 point of shock.
Okay.
And then what he do is he will... I will shoot.
Okay.
He'll order the...
And he can do that even though he's already shot? Or suppressed?
Well, the suppression was on there from a previous order.
Okay, so your squads get to like clean their activations and reactivate every time we switch off?
Well, every time I activate that section,
it gets to do its things again.
They get a new set of things.
So you could kind of just keep activating the 1 section every turn and kind of push them up if you wanted.
Yeah, each phase as we switch back.
Okay, great. So this is a new day for him.
So I could have just kept the suppression on and said, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep this.
But you wanted to activate the squad.
But I'm going like, no, I'm not. The suppressive helps me reduce, and it did save me a little bit when you're initially deployed, but now you're deployed.
Great.
I got the tanks, so I can use the tanks to fire on them, and then I'll use this squad to fire on that squad.
Great.
And,
Okay.
Which then still leaves me the 2 to activate the last section over here.
Okay.
To do that. So then we'll look at the. Let me grab the chart for the tank. So since I activated them as a team, in chain of command, there's basically you have like the tank, the junior leader, the driver, and then like the gunner. So in this case, since they're the section, he's going to tell I get the one order as a team.
To do all of it.
No, they're just
to fire.
The fire.
Okay.
So these are the Hagos, right? 95.
Hago, yeah.
Yeah. So
They got a little Pee-wee cannon. It's like a 50
it has
or
a
something.
Hull MG, which is 10 dice.
Wow. 10 dice. Are you firing at Mr. Hardcover over there?
Let me double check for the. No, wait. Here it is. Vehicle MG, 6 dice.
So 12 total, right?
Yep, 12 total.
You have any Storm of Steel weirdness? Oh, he doesn't have any. And he's out of his effective range, so what is the hardcover going to do for you hitting me?
Well,
Only
that's going to
6s?
be on your save throws.
It's for the save, okay.
Yep.
So hitting me is just a 5 or above because you're over 18.
Yep.
Okay, great. So 12 dice? Because 2 6s?
Yep.
Great. That's funny that 2 tanks have under the firepower of a Marine squad. I guess we haven't gotten to the cannon yet.
Yeah, I guess I could try HE, but I'm just going to do the NG, see if I can.
Oh, wow. So that's 5 hits. And 6s don't matter here because you don't have Storm of Steel.
Correct.
Great. So, sorry, I said 6 hits?
Yep.
Okay, so 6 saves. So I am looking for what to save as hardcover.
So you're in hard, so a 6 kills and a 5 is shock, everything else is a miss.
Oh no! So 2 kills and 1 shock. So I pick the kills?
My understanding is, well, each team, you kind of start with each team would take a kill.
You can look in the,
'Cause you're-
in the chat.
I forgot that these guys existed. They should have fired, but they're gut grenades, whatever. So now I check if the leader died, right? So I roll a die, and on a 1 or a 2, the leader died, because you killed 2 men. I'm going to do that. Ha! The leader died. Or no, now I test what happened to the leader.
Yeah.
So on a 2, because you rolled 2 kills, the leader did have something happen to him. What is a 6? Is it wounded?
Wounded.
So what does that mean? The leader's been wounded, and then someone else died.
Yep.
So we'll pick off a rifleman. Ah!
And then you can just.
So what is a
So here's
wounded
the
leader?
shock, and then there's your wound.
Okay. It just
And
means he
then-
doesn't do his job so well anymore?
I think he's down to just one.
Okay, he issues 1 order now.
One
Got it.
order now. We'll double
Okay.
check that. And then yes, back. Yeah, Keith, on that. You're right. The 2 tanks are separate. I had 2 1s, and that's why I brought both tanks on using a 1 for each of the tanks. So
Okay, so
since
that
I
was-
had 2 1s.
That was your first volley of fire. It sounds like now you're on to your rifles, correct? Your squad. These guys.
Yep.
Okay. So they're all messed up. So do the shocked units still fire, or do they not?
They still fire, but it's a minus. Where is it now? Target.
Okay, I'll start counting. So you still have, looks like 4 rifles, one of whom is stunned. Does a stun do anything on a crew member?
No, I thought we rolled. It wasn't. No one was stunned.
Well, they did not. He's not stunned, but shocked. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does a shock do anything to a crew member?
I think the minus is 1. I think I lose one die.
Okay, but you don't lose anything for dead crew members.
Not
on
yet.
It. Okay, so you have. I guess if you want to separate them, you have 3 clean rifles or 4. You have a leader. You have 4 clean rifles, no problems. So maybe roll the 4 rifles.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 hits.
2 hits.
So we'll mark that. They don't have Storm of Steel, I assume, because they have bolt action rifles. Yeah, I see they do not. So next is you have a shocked one. Does he just hit on a 6 now? Should have rolled for leader hit. I did roll for leader hit.
I think a shot, isn't it? You lose 1 firepower per shot.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Okay, so then you're left. He can't shoot.
So the LMG.
But the LMG is left with 3 shots instead of 4. Because it has a shock on it.
Well, an LMG is 6 shots.
Oh, they're better. So you're left with 5 shots.
Yep.
Because you have a shock on you. And Dead Crew doesn't mean anything to that. So good to go. Missed it all.
Missed it all.
So you're left with 2 actual hits, so I'll roll those. We'll see if any. And you're shooting at the left, so light cover?
Yep, light cover.
Okay, so you'll have to tell me what these mean. I got a 1 and a 3. I think they're probably fine.
Both misses, yeah. Light
Wow.
cover, 1, 2, 3.
We got away scot-free on the left, but the right, not so much. Okay. Was that your... Oh, these guys haven't activated yet?
Yep, he's going to activate, and then...
I'm worried about what he's going to do with these guys. I'm already spread thin trying to deal with all this.
So I'm gonna do a normal move into the building.
Okay.
So which is 2 dice for wanting to move.
So this is how many inches you move?
Yep. So
Okay.
move. So it's 7, which allows me to enter the building. So they're on. Let's say they're on the first floor. So the
Floors matter in this game.
LMG team. Yeah. So they're entering the first floor here, and then.
So they're up here now.
The leader will go with the LMG team, and the rifle squad will go in the search team here.
I've been forgetting my squad leaders exist, so let me add the one to the other guy. Not them. Or maybe I did put him out. No, I definitely didn't. So there's.
What's next?
And then since they executed since I used a full move, 2 dice. They just moved into the building. They don't get to shoot or anything.
Okay.
So
is that your whole turn?
That's my phase.
Your phase. I'm going to roll my 5 dice.
Now your phase.
Oh, how many 6s? Wow, that's wild. So I got 2 1s and 3 2s. So there's no change in the CP, whatever the special points.
But like I said,
I got a lot of activations.
But you can combine a 1 and a 2 to give you a 3 and activate a junior leader instead of activating just.
If I want to activate and do several things. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am going to combine. I'm going to keep these aside so I know what I have. I'm going to combine 2 and 2 with 3.
3.
Because I want that junior leader to activate to resolve some of their problems.
Yep.
So he's going to activate. He's going to rally. I think that's a thing, right?
Right, and that doesn't count against the
Doesn't count against him doing
section
anything.
Activation.
So what is a rally? What does he? What
He
changes?
basically can take.
He removes 1 shock?
Since he's attached and part of the section, he can move 1 point of shock.
Okay, he's wounded. Does that change anything?
Well, that's because he only has the 1 action now because he's wounded.
So he can only pick to do one thing. He can't rally and shoot.
And then
he can only...
you can't rally until. But since you had a number 2s, you could still use another 2 then to activate the section
separately.
Got it. Because the rally doesn't count as an activation.
Got it. So I'll use 1. How many shocks does it heal? 1?
Yeah.
One shock.
Yep.
So he's pulling his shock off.
And then you
You
can.
love not being shocked.
So you can pick what. Yeah.
So we'll just pull the shock off. Can't pull his... Oh, that's the only shock we had. So that's
Because the
great.
other one's
Fixed it.
representing the wound.
Yes. So now the section is going to take an order and shoot. So that's the 1. Could be a...
No,
it's
2.
the 2.
Yep.
All right, so the section is going to now fire.
Yep.
Let's pick a new target because these guys are pretty messed up. We're going to shoot this building. Do I pick a building?
Well, no, because they're in 2 different buildings, even though they're within 4 inches, now you can pick which element to shoot at, and then you'll only hit that section.
Which one has the leader?
The leader went with the LMG.
Great, we're shooting right there into the LMG. So I have 2 BARs still alive. So that's 8 dice for BARs. We'll roll all that. Only 1 hit. Total whiff.
And since you could see me moving into the building is the reason why you can fire me, because you could see me entering in the door of the building.
So normally if you're in a building, if I didn't see it, you're hidden?
Like if I would have went in the back door.
Why didn't you? Oh, you couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it because of the distance, and I wanted to get in the building.
So normally you're like hidden if you can enter a building hidden.
Yes.
I would have to use a recon or something to spot you.
Or I'd have to shoot.
But I saw you enter. So I am shooting. So I only hit you once with the BAR. So now I lost one guy because the leader took a wound. Does a wounded leader still shoot? Do I get dice?
Yes.
Okay.
He's considered part of the section, so
yeah. So we have 2 carbines,
he's
which
fine
are
with the section.
trash, but they do have a 48-inch range. So I think I'm probably in range. So we'll fire 2 carbines. I keep forgetting about the carbines. They missed anyway, as they should. They're carbines.
Yeah, because he's attached to the section, so when you activate the section, he gets.
Yeah, I've just been forgetting that they exist and not shooting them. So then I have 9 surviving, right? No, I had 8 down to 7. I have 7 surviving Garants. So the Garants are all going to fire, and they have the Storm of Steel thing. Didn't help them here. I got 2 more hits. So that's 3 hits total that you have to roll saves for. And you're in a building, so nice hard cover like I had.
Nice hard cover.
So get a couple 6s. That'd be great.
No.
It's funny, this is a game where you want to roll low sometimes, roll high sometimes. Oh, you got 1. So now roll again to see if the leader got hit. Roll a die and don't get a 1. And we'll have to figure out. Okay, so the leader's fine. Did the 4 and the 3 do anything or no?
4 and 3, no.
Okay,
Those
so
are missing
1 man
hard
is
cover.
dead, and I think you pick it.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so that was all of them, I think, done. Next is, I have another 2 and a 1, so I can really just activate the other group, and I will. I can combine it and do a... Oh, I don't think I need to, right? I can just pick 1. Oh, sorry, pick the 2 and activate the whole section. Because I maybe want the bazooka, for example.
Or maybe you want to bring your mortar on at this point with the
right,
one,
but
because the one's considered teams, and then you can place the mortar on the
mortar or the bazooka would be great. So I'll use the 2 that I'm left with to activate the other squad, and they're going to fire at the same target. I think the only thing I need to check, do you have the big long measuring, is if I'm in 48 inches. Because my carbines only fire 48 inches. It looks like I'm just barely good, right?
Yep, 43.
Okay, so we're good. Everything's going to fire. So we can start with the carbines because I always forget them. Oh, totally missed anyway. And then we'll have the BARs. There are 8 of them. Also light up that building. A little better. 3 hits. Standard hits.
Well, so this goes back to the 90-degree arc. You would,
oh, I have to move to change?
You would probably be...
Okay, then I'll just fire at the normal target that I'm allowed to.
Because your 90-degree arc would end... So if you wanted to...
I would have to do a move order to reposition them.
A move order.
Got it. So we're shooting the same target.
Which you could do a 1 dice order and move and still fire.
So I could... I activated the...
But you would fire half if you move.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot this one.
Okay.
So I've hit 3 times off the BAR, and now we do the rifles, of which we have 8. So same 8. 2 exploding 6s, nothing else. So that's another 2 hits for sure. And then we'll see what else we get out of it. Another 2 exploding 6s. And it sounds like they keep exploding, which is wild. Boo, boo, boo. And another exploding 6. What a wild game. And then we're done. Okay, so that's 8 hits total. Pretty good. And these are light cover guys, so we hit them on a lot more than we did before. Okay, so we have 1 dead.
Another dead.
And then do the 5s and 4s matter?
I think the 4 and 5 will be shock. We'll just double check. For shock, yep, 4 and 5.
Okay, 2 more shock.
So 2 more.
And then roll 1 die to see if the dead guy is the leader, or the wounded guy is the leader.
So just add another point of shock to each team.
So don't get a 1 on 1 die. You're good.
We're good there.
So then you pick a different guy to die.
Check Matt's dice.
Check my dice.
Check the dice. Check Matt's dice.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess we'll just lose another infantry guy.
Okay.
I have to go back to the at what point, and that'd be good. Maybe Keith could help us with that. At what point when on the crew on the LMG team does it affect their firing capability?
So can you tell me about bazookas? Do they have a range?
So the bazookas, you would go to they have another chart in the back here.
They got a chart. They got a chart for that.
Everybody has a chart.
We got a chart for this. We got a chart for
I have
that.
to go to the American chart.
It seems far away, but I sure would love to get a bazooka in on one of these little guys. They weren't made of particularly strong stuff, so I'm pretty sure the 60 mil heat's going to go through it.
So
We got a
this
chart.
case here, it's
I have different values for different ranges.
In your case, it's 7 across the board.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
So I have to be 36 inches away to even attempt this?
Yeah, that'd
So
be
that's 3 feet. Can you tell me if that is 3 feet away from you? Probably not. Oh, well, kind of maybe.
Yeah, we can figure it out. Let's just, here you go.
Because I can deploy a bazooka up there. I'm just out. Oh, he's found his safe spot. I could deploy the bazooka like really far forward and like run him and do stuff, but that seems scary.
And then, yeah, and just
Do mortars have any chance of doing anything to these houses? Because they're on the first floor, right?
Mortar can still do. I'm pretty sure they can still do damage to a
Just
building.
not super likely. Okay, well, we'll find out. I'm gonna deploy the mortar, and then I guess fire it, or I'm just deploying it off that one I still have.
You can deploy, and I think we'll have to look at that real quick.
And then I also need to know.
Bazooka.
Oh yes.
He says you can ambush the bazooka using a COC die.
What does that mean?
So remember we talked about.
We got those dice.
Yeah, you have those options.
So what is ambush?
One of your ambushes is that
I just put a bazooka down.
you use those points, you place them so many inches from that jump off point. They fire.
So I can make him be further away from the jump off point.
Yeah,
Because I, for example, would love him to be there.
yeah. Let's.
What do I do to get him there?
Okay. Good thing. Let's look it up.
Oh yeah.
Chain of command point. You're gonna want to do the ambush, so you can place them within 12 inches of a friendly jump off point.
Yeah.
The ambush team may fire at the enemy within the arc. And since I'm not, then that would, the only thing I could probably do is that since I do have 4 points, I could do like a reaction fire, which then would probably give me a reaction fire. The opponent, I can, if their opponent phase of play, infantry, it can. No, it's only for an infantry.
So my problem. Oh, I can have him disappear.
Keith says you deploy within 12 inches
Yep.
of a jump off point and then they disappear.
So if I don't get a reaction fire against him, he just goes away.
That's Keith.
Yeah, and I think for the
Because
reaction
I
fire.
can't make it to the hardcover. That's not 12 inches. So he would be in real trouble out there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like I can use a reaction. I can only use a reaction fire for an infantry
So it just happens.
section.
You can't
So
react as there is no movement, only deployment.
So I could spend 3 of these points, because everything seems to be 3, to just pop this dude up, take a shot, and have him disappear again.
I
Correct?
have no idea. I'm just reading.
No, I'm asking.
oh yeah, good point. It says it has to be an enemy unit that's moving. So yeah, I basically cannot do anything against your ambush thing. He comes out, he takes his shot at one of my tanks, we resolve it, and then at the end of it, because he is the bazooka team, he gets pulled.
Great. I'm going to spend 3 points to do that. That sounds great to me. So I'm down to 3 chain of command points.
Yeah, the only thing I could do is it does say I could do an interrupt, but I don't have enough. I don't have a full command.
Oh, you need 6.
I need 6 to do an interrupt.
Got it.
That's the only thing.
Well, I'm
going
going to take a pop shot at this bad boy over here. So our beautiful team has emerged 12 inches away. That was pretty close. Can we do a measurement? What is this range?
now
band? It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
'Cause they're,
it was a 7. So.
Yeah. Okay, so now what do I do to shoot at you with the bazooka?
So now we go to the chart, the fire adjustment. So I'm
ready.
So you got a bunch of different things you would do for the thing.
Ambush is a whole die, not just 3 points.
It's a whole. Okay, well I had a
Yeah.
whole die, so if you could remove that
Yellow
die,
die.
I'll take it. Why not?
Yeah. So my target's not small. I don't have a low profile. You have no shock. I don't. So basically, I don't see anything that will give you a plus or minus. I'm in the open, so you would use 2 dice.
2 dice.
And as long as you roll a 5 or higher,
On one of them or on both? Like combined?
combine.
Wow. I got a 4. Oh!
You missed.
Okay, good job, guys. We'll take them out then. That was thrilling theatrics that they did to get in the middle of the field only to miss. But maybe they'll try it again later in the day. Okay, so did that not cost me this section?
Well, no, that was all
Separate.
with your dice,
Okay.
your command dice.
So separately-
you can still bring on your mortar team now.
Yes. Can I bring the mortar team on and shoot it if I remain within 6 inches?
And that's what we're going to the team section.
Okay, and separately, Do I need to have direct line of sight for a mortar? Or can I hide it? I would love to keep Sledge alive,
Yeah, I'm pretty
knowing his history.
Yes, it says yes.
Yes.
It says yes.
Yes to what? We got a couple questions in the air. Keith is extremely helpful, and I do appreciate you doing all that.
What was the last question you had?
So it sounds like the yes is probably to deploying and firing it. So my second question was, can it fire indirect?
I think off of a leader can direct its fire.
So it would need to have a leader order to fire indirect. Correct?
That's what we're looking at.
Okay. I'm going to kind of
LOS makes hitting easier. It can be directed by a junior leader.
It makes, so I don't need it to fire indirect, but it makes it easier to hit.
Correct.
Is indirect harder to hit with? Probably. I'll put it firing direct.
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna lob some 60 up into that building over there. So what does a 60 mil do in terms of dice? 60 mil does
4 firepower.
it says over 18 inches plus so if I have line of sight, I become close range according to this chart. If I have no line of sight, I'm at effective range. Not close. I reduce cover by 1 level, no effect on bunkers, and I have Storm of Steel, and he gets 4 dice. So this is actually, it's a pretty nifty little team. So I'm going to put my rounds into this guy, and I'm in effective range.
Okay.
So that means that I hit on 4s.
So you reduce it to light cover. The building was hard cover, so you're reducing it to light cover.
And then what does effective range do for me? It means I hit more easily?
And then
I'm going to roll the dice first, see if it matters. It's going to matter. So I got a 6 and a 5. I think that it kind of doesn't matter. I always hit on a 6 and a 5. So that's 2 hits. And then the 6 is exploding, as we've learned from Storm of Steel.
Yep.
It didn't work. Yep. So that's 2 hits onto you. Onto Mr.
2
Leader
hits.
in HMG. Or light machine gun. Nothing. Okay. It was worth a shot.
Yeah, let me just...
All right, so that was my whole activation. So I think you can roll your 5 dice.
Okay.
I feel protected.
Yep,
I feel sheltered.
Yep.
Ed wants to see the helmet at the historic con.
Oh, that's on you, Mark. It's your helmet.
Scott Fisher's helmet.
Oh, it's Scott's helmet. That's funny.
Right.
Yeah, well.
So that was end of your phase.
Oh, well.
Right?
Yes, it was my end of phase. All right, we got another 6, but it's only 1. What does 1 6 do for us?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, so we have
And
2 2s and 2
actually
3s.
2
So you
3s.
get to do a lot of stuff.
2 2s.
It's going to be a while till the round ends.
Yeah. So we will...
Are you gonna have more Japanese?
I want to see all of them.
You gotta grab one of those.
Start shooting at me.
Those points, right?
Yeah, you gotta advance.
Yeah.
Thus far, this is very like piddling attack.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of just shooting at you at a range.
It's very brutal here. It's very brutal, and then we're gonna have to figure out something. So
You gotta cross a lot of ground here. It feels like moving is hard in this game, especially against a similar-sized force that can see everything, which I can.
It can be. So we'll. So since I can activate the junior leaders of the tank,
Okay.
we'll move those up.
Okay.
So we'll roll.
Get the tanks, George.
Get the tanks
We'll
going.
roll.
He wants to taste Bazooka again.
5 inches on that guy. Only 1 inch on him.
Wow. 1 inch won't even get you in Bazooka range. Move faster. He might be now. He was
So
just
that
out
was the
before.
one order to the driver to move. Now the junior leader uses other order to fire.
Okay.
We will try to do the HE guns this time to see if that works a little bit better. So
Does the 6 give me a... Just to take a step back. Does the 6 give me a point?
No, six.
5.
5 gives yourself a point. What gives your opponent a
Oh,
point?
if you have rolled 2 6s, you
2
you
6s.
get a point.
Got it.
So like I said, so this is why I was using the machine gun, because HE I only get 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
But because I used the whole MG,
What's that 1MT? Oh, it's telling you about the machine gunner or something.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So since
but the HE
reason
doesn't do better against cover or something?
Well, reduce you by 1 cover.
That's
So-
something.
So I'll do that because then that reduces it to light cover.
Light cover is important.
So then here's the,
So 3
the first
dice off
tank
the HE.
firing.
He got a 6.
Uh,
I think that's the only hit, right? Because light cover 4. I don't know if 4 doesn't light cover. Cover I thought had to do with the save, not the hit.
Yeah.
Effective range was the hit.
Right, and we're at effective, so it's just a 5 and a 6. So that's
So one you don't have exploding because he's
one
not Storm of
hit,
Steel.
but so you're in light cover.
Okay, light cover. You got a 4. I think that's
which is a point of shock.
shock. We love shock.
So then you would have.
I actually have a shock over there.
You have a shock over there. So then.
And I get to say where it goes, so it'll be not on the AR. We got this rifleman.
And one more hit with the other one.
Ah, okay. I got a 2. I think he's probably fine, right?
Yep, you're fine.
Okay,
There's nothing going
I'll
on
take it.
there.
Keith says that if you fire HE, you get Storm of Steel.
Ah, so roll one more time because you got a 6
So
last
yeah,
time.
each one got a 6. So
Okay, so
nothing
nothing.
and nothing.
Nothing. Ah, worth a shot. Appreciate it, Keith.
Yep. Thanks for keeping it straight. So that was nothing. So then we will do.
So that was, what did you use for that? It was 1 3?
the 2 3s. Because I have to
Both
use a
threes.
3 for each.
Okay.
On the tanks.
So then.
Stay on the
I
tanks?
have them as
Yeah.
a 2-shot. I don't need another 2-shot.
Yeah. So then So then I'll activate this section.
Okay.
So the
They're the relatively intact section. So what are
rifle's
they?
firing.
Oh, okay.
Going after the hard target. Effective range.
1 hit, right?
1 hit. And then for the LMG.
1 more hit.
So just 2 hits on them.
Okay.
But now a 6 is a kill. 5
6 would be bad.
is
I got a 4
nothing.
and a 2.
So nothing happened
no
there.
effect on target.
So then I have my last one, which
You can bring on new Japanese, always
Yeah,
fun.
we'll always-
Or you could
might
deal
as
with
well.
these guys, they're pretty messed up.
Yeah, well, but it's a section, and so I can't take. I could move them back,
Oh yeah, you can't fix them. That's right.
but I can't fix them. So I can move them back, and at this point. Yeah.
But you got all these new dudes.
So-
I don't know if you want to use some of them.
Let's go here and look. Well, I'm not familiar with the other guys, so I was trying to figure out what the 89.
Hago?
Yeah, oh, those are the grenade things.
The
and
knee mortars.
Yeah, and I guess for the 89 discharges, I have to with line of sight, no line of sight, firepower 2. So I think they're same as the rifle grenade range, I believe,
Okay.
which was. So at this point, they're not going to be over 12 plus line of sight.
They're not the 50 mil mortar? I don't know the
Yeah, I don't know the
millimeters
rules.
on a knee mortar.
Oh, we could consider them what, the 2-inch mortars?
Yeah. Then they're probably a 50 mil. Yeah. So
2
they
inch
would
50
get
mil.
they get a 3 firepower. Their line of sight, close range if over 12 inches, and they have line of sight, and they reduce cover by 1 level, and they have Storm of Steel. So they're pretty great. They're identical to my 60 mil, except they only get 3 dice instead of 4.
All right,
So
these
they're
are-
just as cool as mine, really.
We'll use them as a Nemor, and they're going to hide behind.
So they're going to fire indirect, which means that
Indirect.
they'll be using their effective, effective, not close range.
Yeah, and they're hiding behind the building, so you can't hit them.
Okay.
They get 2 shots each, so that's going to be 6 dice.
Okay. What are they shooting at?
The guys in hard cover, we
Rocks.
could reduce it by
Down to light cover.
light cover.
Okay, they do have Storm of Steel, so that 6 gets rolled again. So 2 hits.
Yep, 2 hits.
Okay, so now I test for cover, for saves. A 1 and a 2, I think I'm good.
And you say, huh?
Wow, everyone's fine. They weren't so great after all.
Over to your face.
Over to my face. Okay, I'll roll my 5 dice, sorry. We got 1 6, which is a nothing. We got a 5, which is a
Gives
point
you
for
another-
me
yep,
once you're
another point
ready.
of command dice.
And then 2 3s and a 2. Pretty good. 2 3s and a 2. I'm not seeing any reason why I shouldn't just keep blinking at you, so I think I will. So my only question is, can I indirect fire my mortar at them without having seen them? Do I have to know they're there?
I think you have to know
By some
they're
means?
there,
Okay, so I won't be firing at them because I can't see them. So I will fire the mortar.
In the spirit of the game, since you don't really,
I wouldn't know that they're there. Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't have counter battery radar in this period, so I'm going to fire the mortar for the 2. Right? The 2 could fire a mortar.
No, someone has to see
No.
them.
A two is either a leader.
Someone has to see them.
Great. So I can't fire them anyway.
Yeah. No. So a 2 only is for the section.
Okay.
Your mortar is considered a team.
So it's 1.
So it's a 1, or like a senior leader can tell it to fire.
So I could. Oh, a senior leader. Okay.
Yeah.
But I could like split it. I could split the 2 into 2 1s, or I can't go down.
No, you can't go down. You can add, but you can't go
so
down.
I cannot order it currently. Could it? And a junior leader can't direct it either.
He would have to detach from his section
Okay.
and then order him. But then I think a junior leader could direct a team to fire.
So could I break this off and make this like a 4 out of the 2, or I can't add 1?
No,
to it?
you have to use
That's
the actual
exact.
the actual numbers. Yeah.
Got it.
So
and I can't split it up into 2 of them.
No.
Okay, great.
So-
So the mortar's not involved. So we'll take the 2 normal leaders. So we'll have. I may have gotten this wrong. I think he can take his shock off and fire. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, he'll do that
Well, which one are you talking about?
on the right in the.
Remember, he's wounded, so he only has one
right.
order.
So the.
But
order
what you
would be
could
one or
do,
the other.
what you could do is you could use him, the 3 to remove the
Right,
shock,
right, and then the 2 to use the squad.
2
So
to
I'll do
activate it.
that. I'll
And
do
then
that.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 of my command points.
Would you mind pulling the you can, if you could pull off my wound here. It's on the right. It's the red token on the right.
This guy?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 of my command because
No,
you're shooting at
Dale can only
the-
order his section.
Oh, what can only order a section?
Junior leader.
can only order
Ah,
his
and that
section.
was about
Okay.
the mortar. Yep,
Mortar.
got it.
So you're firing him, right?
No, they're gonna fire. Oh,
Which one?
Yeah, I
Are you
guess.
firing-
I guess we
are
made.
you
No,
firing-
we're gonna fire them.
Okay, these guys are firing
Uh,
over here. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it has to be him, right? Because he's. Well, he might be.
No,
at 90.
I think he's within the.
So we'll
90.
shoot at them.
Okay. That's.
Are
fair
you still
enough.
doing anything?
No, I was gonna go. These guys are.
Oh, you were
hit
gonna kind of have them fall back.
No, these guys are gonna hit the dirt if you fire at them.
Got it. But no, we're gonna fire them.
All right.
So what we did is we spent the 3 to activate the leader to remove shock, and then the 2 to fire the unit. So we are left with 2 fully functional BARs, which will fire.
Yep.
Wow. 3 hits. And then we're left with, I think we've lost 1 man. Oh, we'll do the carbines because I always forget them.
Yep.
1 hit that time. No storm steel.
4 hits.
And then we have.
The 5 riflemen.
I think we've lost 1 or
Yep.
2 men. So we started with 8. I think we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I have 7 dice.
Yep.
So 5, 6, 7. They've had a lot of ineffective fire coming their way. It didn't do much. Okay, so we got 2 hits, 1 of which is a storm of steel. Oh, so many dice. 3 hits, another storm of steel. 4 hits total. Oh my gosh. So 8 hits
Eight
all
hits.
told. Onto that one little team, little separated section. 2 of them died. Oh my gosh. So then you have to roll again a die and
We'll
get
finish up.
Oh,
They're all dead.
Oh, they're all dead. Well, do you check to see if the leader was wounded, right?
Yeah, we do still check that, so I have to roll a 5 or a 6.
Okay. So he's not dead.
But well, you hit a 4 kills, so in this
Oh,
case,
so he has to die?
so the whole squad, you kill the whole squad because all 4.
Does it get spread because they're 4 inches apart?
No, because they're in the building.
I pick the building. Oh wow.
'Cause you
So
pick the
he's
building.
done. Oh
Even-
wow. That building didn't do much for him. That's rough.
Oh no, we forgot the step. You hit. I have to roll.
You
No,
did-
I did roll.
You
Yeah.
did roll.
Yeah, that was it.
The problem.
I was
The
hoping
question,
I
I
was
think.
hoping I did.
The question for Keith, I think, is we hit enough to kill everyone.
Yeah.
So he was clearly hit, but do we
And-
still roll to see if he's just wounded and not killed?
You mean the leader?
The leader.
Yeah.
But I failed that roll too.
You failed it.
But yeah, because even if he survives, I
Well,
think
he would go attached to them. It would matter. You roll poorly. Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah, I did roll poorly.
That's about as bad as it gets over there. A 5.
Oh,
A 5 is wounded, right?
Wounded.
So
Well-
so the question is he wounded or is he dead because his whole...
Yes, roll for the leader.
Okay, so he's wounded, not dead.
He's wounded.
It's really hard to kill these guys. If he gets wounded again, does he die?
Yes.
Great. Okay, we're trying to do that then. All right, so I have a 3 left, and it'll be the other, and now you're going to get to go to ground.
I'm gonna hit the dirt, which
Great.
then gives me hard cover.
So is hitting the dirt 3 points?
Yep, which we're down to 1. I got
Oh, it's
one.
already done?
Yep, we already did it.
Great.
Down to
So
1
it
point.
means what happens? You get extra cover?
Yep.
Okay, so it's like you're in hard cover?
So I elevate myself to hard cover because they hit the
Love
dirt.
it. I love it. I'm going to fire the BAR at them. See what happens. Only 1 hit, so that's good. And then we'll fire the carbine, because I always forget. Carbine hit once. Pretty great. And then we'll fire the 8 fully functioning Garants. Wow. So that's 3 hits, and 2 of them are exploding. Which, sorry, I missed one because it's a special one.
Yes, you're
4
lucky
hits.
95.
3 of them are exploding.
Yes.
Thank you, I-95. Your
Yes.
dice are probably loaded.
You have benefited a number of games from the
a
95.
number of games.
From
And
the 95
oh
dice.
my god, it's another 2, and they're both exploding. And I'll remove I-95 because I feel bad. That's it. That's great. So that's 8 hits again on this team. Now in hardcover, as of now. Oh my god! That's 2 dead and a stun probably, and 3 shocks and 2 dead if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, so I definitely have 3 shock.
And then we'll roll for
and
the
2
leader.
dead.
It was the leader. Is he alive? He's alive but wounded.
He's alive and wounded.
6 is wounded, I think.
Yep.
2, 3 is not wounded. 1 is dead.
So both my leaders now are wounded.
And then 1 more dead and 3 shock.
And let me grab 3 more shock.
This attack is kind of ending before it starts.
Yeah,
and the tanks are even involved. This is kind of rough.
This is brutal.
I just don't know how you advance. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you suppress me enough that you can advance.
It's tough. So
It's very tough.
1,
I think you need more knee mortars.
Yeah.
I think you need...
2.
Maybe you need to push the
John
tanks
Josh
out.
is here. He says, don't hate on I-95.
All I'm saying is your dice
So 2
roll
more
very
dead.
well. And that's not hate.
No, it's not hate. So since we have now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys left, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of shock.
7.
I think something
points of shock.
happens. Oh, and then something else we forgot to do, since we'll catch up here too. We also forgot to do bad things happen when our leaders got wounded.
Oh, that's on me too.
Yeah.
I'm wounded.
So I just dawned on me about that. So we had junior leaders were wounded.
Okay.
So this is where we affect our morale.
Okay.
So I roll a 3.
You're going to have to do it twice, 1 for each.
Yeah. So I get. So
Minus
my
one
morale
morale.
goes from 11 to 10.
I don't want.
No effect.
Okay, and then I have to do it once because
You
I
have
lost
to do
a guy.
it once. Yeah.
Hop. A 1, so no effect.
No effect. And
Okay.
then since I lost a section earlier, I have to roll for that too. So a section breaks or wiped out. I roll a 3. I go down another morale. So that's how now bad things are happening. Starting to
It looks bad.
starting to
So
reduce my morale. And
does
my
morale
effectiveness.
matter until you get to 0?
So once you get me down to 4 morale, then I only get 4 command dice to roll.
Oh wow.
I get
Burnett
I get
says-
down to 3, then to 3, and yes, and
Mm.
then basically when you get to 3 is usually most people just call the game at that point and stuff like
So
that.
Keith is giving you advice. He says you need to be suppressing my teams and moving tactically across the open field, or smoke if the knee mortars have it, but probably not.
No.
So what we're hearing is you need to be shooting better. Could you shoot better?
I could try the suppressive fire again, but I mean it's
Yeah.
this
Well,
is-
suppressive fire, does it work on me when I'm deployed? If so, then
Yeah, I could still do it now.
The problem, I guess, is that it's throwing away potential dice you could be using to kill my men.
Right.
But you know,
Section has a smoke grenade.
can your tanks suppress? Because that might be a better use of their time. I don't know that the knee mortar has a smoke. We'll see. Is it listed? It's not on this sheet. If they do, I would definitely be using them if I were you. Because I'm not going to drop it out of my 60 mil for you. All right.
Well,
So
let's see. Let me look.
yes,
at
they
the-
can. They can. That may have been about my question about tank suppressing. Each section has a smoke grenade, and tanks can put down suppressing fire. So maybe you could have your tanks suppress, and then the sections drop smoke grenades in advance. I don't know. It takes a lot of orders to do all that, though.
Yeah, I think the thing with smoke grenade is you can still fire through.
It's just minuses.
Yeah, it's minuses.
Mm-hmm.
Where the knee mortar smoke would block the line of sight.
I understand.
So I know the British 2-inch mortar does get smoke.
Mm. So I will say I'm done. So I'm going to pass back over to you. And maybe you can make your decision on what you're doing after you see what your role is. If you got a lot of cool stuff to do, then maybe you could be dropping smokes and stuff.
We'll see if
I guess the only other question is what happens to this unit
Yeah,
that has many more shock than it
I
has
think
men?
it's pinned
They
now.
become pinned.
So what does that mean?
It means they very much are gone to ground and they.
So they're harder to hit, but they can't do anything? That's just my guess.
Yeah.
That's a P for pinned.
Yeah, it's pinned.
Okay.
We'll worry
So
about
what
that.
are the effects of pinned?
We'll roll this.
Oh, okay. So one useless and a lot of small activations, which is probably what you want.
So yeah, the 3 junior leaders and all that.
So we'll leave that over here where you'll
And then
have them to know what you're doing. So that's 3 3s and a 1 for the people who didn't see the dice. And a 6 that gets thrown away. So he's got some options. He still has a whole squad that hasn't come out. And a tank, it looks like.
Cannot move fire at half.
Yeah, you end up being half and stuff like that. So it's
I mean, this
just
big open runway, which is the reality of this battle, is going to be real rough to cross.
Yeah.
It's all I think about. If I were you, this is probably about the tank suppressing, since their fire doesn't seem to be that effective anyway.
You can use the craters recover.
The crater to recover.
Yeah, we agreed on that. I just.
Oh, as cover. No,
it's
for
gonna
sure.
be hard
It's
for me
just
to
that the
move
cover
on.
is so far away.
Yeah.
Like it is cover. It's just you're gonna have to get to it.
So then, so first thing I'll do is I will, I guess, use my 1 junior leader over here.
Okay.
And we'll use my, which I can't. No, can't do that. I was thinking about doing that, but no, we can't. So
You kind of need to remove enough of these to have fewer than your men to be unpinned. Is that right?
yeah, I have to reduce it down.
Okay. That's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
There are 4 living men,
We'll
and they
worry
have
about
7
that.
tokens on them.
If you're double, you're removed.
Oh, so I just need to put 1 more to remove the whole thing?
Correct.
Wow. Well, that would be good for killing your morale. That's rough. Can you use your funny points to make them fall back? Even through pin?
I used them to hit the dirt, and then you did a lot
and then
more.
I
pin-
really
then
hit
you
him a
really
lot.
hit him.
I really punished him for that.
So I don't have enough. I don't have enough chain of command points. I only have 1 left, so I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
And then
What is that 1 point
have
that you
it,
can
so-
use for chain of commands? This is something that costs a single point.
so let's.
Oh, it's Reki or something. Yeah, that's
Reki,
not
yeah.
what you want.
So
All right.
so
Well,
we're gonna
what
say
are you going to
we're
work
gonna say
with?
these guys can fire smoke then, right?
I guess.
The
I don't know if the 2 inches can fire smoke.
Well,
They
2
can
inch
if they're
Brit-
British. I know that.
Yeah, the British.
I know
can.
that. So why not? You probably need it.
Let's just play with it. Let's
Let's
just
do
say
it.
they
Let's
can.
do it.
So then they will fire. We'll just go to that
Okay.
section real quick.
They're firing indirect smoke. Everyone's favorite kind of smoke. We'll see how much smoke a 2-inch mortar can put out.
I think it's a 6-inch.
Let's. I'll get the smoke ready. I'm excited to see it. I think there's smoke around.
So.
Oh, not that. Tiny
So
smoke.
light motors of a 2
I
or
see.
50, which these are considered 2s and 50s. Minimum range of 12, 18.
Say thanks to Keith. He's leaving.
Thanks, Keith.
Thanks,
We
Keith.
appreciate
Appreciate all your help.
We would be lost without you.
Yeah.
So, and we probably will be, but I know you got to go do things.
So we got 3 mortars, so I will. We're going to try to give us some good protection out there
Oh, I love it.
like that. So we'll roll the first one on a 5 and 6. It lands where it needs. It's a 3. So 3 target hits 6 inches beyond the landing point.
So between you and your point, it goes 6 inches deeper. So that's great for you. If you could, if you put like a. So how much smoke is like 6 inches total? Like a 6-inch radius, 6-inch diameter. What does the smoke look like?
3-inch round ball.
3-inch round. 3-inch radius or diameter?
It's just 3 inches.
Diameter. Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh no, it's past this from
so,
you, so it's like that.
Yeah.
So that was not super helpful.
Not super helpful.
Oh, it kind of blocked them shooting them a little.
Yeah, so
then they have to go target them.
Next one, we'll try to move a little bit closer so we can isolate a 2. Lands 6 inches to the right.
Okay.
So right over here.
That was helpful too, in a different way.
Different way, and then they'll try to do the last one, and this between the 2.
Okay.
1, which means 6 inches to the left, which is not going to help me.
Yeah, that's not super great.
So then, boom, it goes over there.
Okay. And
Mortar
they.
hits on a 3.
What's that?
He says if your mortar can see the target area, it hits on a 3.
What happens if it? It can't see it. It's out of line of sight. It's behind.
Well, this was laying smoke, so I thought we. Do you still roll? I thought you just rolled the smoke deployment roll when firing light mortar fire. Aiming point rolls a D6 at the aiming point, because we're not trying to hit a target; we're just laying smoke.
Indirect.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're probably fine. I think even if it wasn't exactly right, it would be roughly the same effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your. I don't know what your rolls were.
So that was for them, and then I had 2 other
sections, or 2 3s.
2 other 3s,
Okay.
so I can
Tax
do those
again.
later, and then.
And then a 1.
Yeah. Well, a 2, which would have been a section.
Okay.
So we could try to. We'll bring on the last section.
The last section.
Behind the building.
Never before seen. So, I can probably see them through that gap. I don't know if that's your intention. I don't know how the game's line of sight works. Yeah, if you spread them out a little bit.
I'll spread them out. I mean, you're still gonna. Technically, you have. I'm trying to hide.
Yeah. No, if you're trying to hide, that's easy.
But
You hit. We don't need to be too finicky about it. If any smoke is 6 inches or less apart, you fill in between as a smoke screen. So that means that this happened.
Yep. There you go.
I don't know how helpful that is, but it is different.
Oh, over 6 inches there, so it's not.
They only move a D6?
Well, because I want to move in fire.
Oh.
I'm on that camera, George.
So there.
I'm on that camera. I was trying to get you to the tank. Sorry.
So we'll just try to make the big push here. So
they're firing?
here's a
They're firing straight ahead?
HE.
So what does the smoke do to this? Because it probably does something to this.
Well, they have line of sight to your.
One of them does, right? Or is it they have line of sight to anyone, they therefore have line of sight to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, but no hits.
Oh my gosh.
No hits.
You need the I-95 die.
I
It's
am
right
not
here.
rolling
I
well.
present it to you.
All right, back over to you.
All right, so the next question is, are you now? Well, let me roll first.
I'm definitely.
For the what I want is, ooh, that's a lot of points. So I need 3 points over there on my die because I got 3 5s, and a 4 is my big boy leader, right? He's my
3 additional. Or
3 additional. 3 additional. I don't know what my card is.
You're 1.
Oh, beautiful. 4 is great. Thank you. So
you're at 32 inches from the
4 is the big 32
senior,
inches.
Yeah, 32 inches.
So that's well within bazooka range.
Yep.
If I wanted.
Yeah, that's your senior leader. So, since you have 2 senior leaders, you could technically bring on one of your senior leaders.
Oh, I could separate them.
Yep.
Oh, great. And then the 3 is a section, as usual. Or sorry, 3 is a
Junior leader.
Junior leader. Okay, so let me run through this. So he gets 3 actions he can give.
Yep.
So can one of them would be him coming on.
No, once again, his deployment on the table doesn't count.
Activating
again.
him just is deploying, and then 3
Deploying on the
things.
table is like a free.
Can he send one of them to the bazooka?
No, he can't order an off-board team. So you'd have to use a 1 or something.
They have to be brought on first.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will send one in just because why not? Does he have to be within a range of someone to order them?
6 inches.
Okay.
Well, 6 inches for jungle. Otherwise, I think it's 12. So in this game, I think a junior.
I'm kind of in a jungle over here. It's fine. So
There is some different leader rules for the terrain.
Gotcha.
But I think for a normal senior leader, I think it's 12 inches.
He doesn't need to see anything to help someone do stuff, right? So I can just keep him behind here within 6 inches of both, and he can send them orders, right?
9 inches for a senior.
It's 9 inches for a
9
senior.
inches.
So as
So I
long
can
as
just keep him here and order everybody.
Yep.
Order these two, not them.
Yeah. So you could, since he has 3 orders, you give 1 order to the mortar,
and one to the squad.
1 order to the squad.
And then he's left with 1 that he can't do anything with.
Yep.
Okay, great. So, then we'll do this in a different order, I guess. We'll have the other squad appear, because then they can receive his orders too. Oh, no, they won't be able to this turn anyway. I take it all back.
Well,
He's
no,
going out.
but they're going to be able to fire.
Right. But he can't bring them on, so I may
No,
as well
he
use the other
can't.
one on the one that already exists. So he's coming out. He's coming out from hiding. He's going to start yelling at people in person, not just over the radio.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at Mr. Sledge, I really need mortar fire on this, I guess on them, because he could just see them.
Yeah.
And we may as well finish them off.
Yep.
And it'll reduce their cover, which they've kind of gone to ground. So
Yep.
they're going to fire direct using 4 dice. Okay, so they got 1 5, and I think
Yeah, you're firing.
nothing else changes. You lose cover, but this is not where cover matters. So I think that's
Correct.
just it.
Because you're firing, you're considered close range because you have line of sight.
Right, so I'm hitting on
4, 5, or
4s,
6.
but I only got 1 hit, so that's a single 5 that you need to save.
And I'm
And
in
they
hard,
count as being in
hard cover.
light cover because of my mortar.
Yeah, 2, which
But
is
2
not
is
done.
fine, so you're good.
They're good.
Okay, next will be the other squad, and since some of them can see them, the smoke doesn't help you? Because those 3 guys, whatever, can see them without issue. Is that how the smoke works?
Yeah, you can definitely fire on that team.
Terrible. On that team. But the team is within 4, so it hits everyone, right?
Well, I think they're outside of 4 now, so.
Oh, okay. Their death has separated them.
Death has separated.
But the squad leader is eligible. He's within 4.
Well,
he's separate.
he's attached to the section, so he is within 4, so he would be affected.
Got it.
by
Well, they're going to shoot them because they
Yeah.
seem like a great juicy target. So we'll do our usual. So is the way this line of sight works that some of them will be affected by smoke and some of them won't?
Yeah, you're basically drawing a line of sight from each individual.
Terrible. What does smoke do to their shot? Reduces their firepower by
Well, in
1?
this case, because
Is this a mortar?
since this was mortar smoke,
No, it's not. It's mortar,
mortar smoke blocks line of sight completely.
entirely. So
Yeah.
they'd have to pick a new target.
Yep.
So they could shoot this tank and see what happens.
Which you can't.
They can't even do it.
From that range, the rifles can't do anything.
You have to be close. Okay. So they would need to move to adjust. Can I move part of the unit, not the whole unit? Because I have an extra order.
Yeah, so in this case, because you had a senior leader, he can actually issue orders to each team
Section,
within the section.
Each team, right? Okay.
So
great.
he can have he can tell the one team to fire. You can tell the other team to move and readjust your 90-degree angle.
Love it.
And
So-
then fire at this building.
So what I'm going to do then is have this team on the right readjust so that they're aiming. They don't need to move at all, but they need to aim a different way. So
Right, but it
they're
counts
aiming
as
at them.
moving, so they're still going
So
to be.
they'll shoot at half.
They'll
Okay.
shoot at half. Yep.
Okay, so half of them are going to, including half plus the squad leader, are going to shoot this building, and the other half are going to shoot over here. So we'll start with the half that's shooting over here. So that's a single BAR. Oh my god! That's 4 6s. Now if you save that way, that'll be bad.
Turn, right?
No, this is just shooting.
Just shooting, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This
Okay.
It's only on that.
They're
in hard
shocked?
cover?
No, they're fine.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
hard cover, they're fine.
lived through that.
They
and then
lived through it.
we have the 4 Garans with them. Okay. 2 hits. So that
1
shock
point of
did
shock,
it, which
yeah.
I think removes the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I think the additional.
Does it remove the squad leader or just the 2 sections?
No, if he's attached, he goes with them. So.
Okay. So we've inflicted 1 more shock, which is enough to double the amount of living models at 8 shock to 4 models.
So pin and broken units will route from the table, and be removed from the play. Leaders with them will also be removed, causing a forced morale test because they
Okay.
exceeded the thing.
So they all left.
So then I do the roll on bad things again.
Roll for bad things. That's a lot of tokens we get to remove. That's nice.
Oh, and I roll a 1. So this is.
So it didn't affect you. No one knew it happened.
So it's going to be. Yeah, so it's a bad thing, but since I rolled a 1, it's not going to affect my morale.
Do you have to? So you check, I think, for the leader and each section.
Well, then I have to roll for the leader who routed 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I roll a 2, so my morale goes down now to 8.
Do you roll for the squad or for each section? Because I rolled before to a single section.
No, you have a team break and a section who breaks. So I rolled for the whole section broke.
Oh, okay. It's all the same. Okay, got it. If they die all at once, it's actually better for your morale.
Which says there's a section. I did look at the wrong chart. Sorry about that, Matt. So I do go down to 7 on the morale.
Will you lose another just automatically?
No, because I was looking. There is a difference between team and section. I looked at the team, not the section.
Got
so
it.
since I rolled a 1,
Okay.
I still go down 1, and then that.
Guys, it's 9:30, so we should probably wrap pretty soon, right?
It feels like this attack is not making it.
No, it's tough. It's really tough.
really tough. I think.
But it's my turn. We could try.
Oh yeah. Like,
So we can try one more thing and see what would happen if I do try to like move these guys out and
Sure.
maybe try to do the throw the
Sure.
grenades and see if we get anywhere.
That says that he has a thought there.
I don't see. Oh, I thought, are the craters of Japan's far left a better avenue? It's just you move so slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably are, but you'd have to like totally walk in front of me to do it.
Yeah, because of where my jump off points were, I still would have had trouble getting across over them. So I end up with a senior leader. So I'll definitely just bring the senior leader on.
Okay.
So then he can activate the mortars, and I think it's I think in this case they probably only got the 1 smoke round. I know they definitely have only 3 HE rounds.
So what you want is to be like there, so that they can't shoot you, and only they can. And then the mortar has to fire indirect.
With junior leaders on there, so.
I mean, it's kind of hard because you're only really blocking like one team,
Ryan
maybe.
Hall says you can run 3d6, but you gain a shot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just tough. I think it's kind of brutal.
I mean, you can take shotgun your rifles. They don't really matter. It's like a 1 firepower you're giving up. So I would see reasons to like try to make it to that crater, but you're going to get shot in the open a little. And you're already down about half your force.
Yeah.
Minus the tanks. They're fine.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good start. I mean, you can definitely see what Richard Clark from Lord Island was. He wanted to force you to make decisions. That's his whole thing.
I think if this was in a bocage, it would play better. I think it kind of doesn't work well in situations. And I've, to be fair, played one game with a lot of rule checking.
Yeah.
But I feel like the intent behind the game seems to be made to have you make interesting use of terrain. So I think you need a lot of terrain to make this game work, probably. Like in a bocage, which I think is honestly probably what the game was made for, you can be sneaking up on people. That whole initial phase where we're moving against each other has a lot more meaning to it. With this one, I don't see a situation where we wouldn't have ended up just like how we did. Where we kind of just bump into each other right in the middle, and that kind of just... it ends up with you back here.
Yeah, because you have a whole nother squad to bring on. So even if I could have got out to these points, I'm in the hard cover, but you can still bring a lot of firepower on me. And it's
and the tanks were kind of anemic. That was what I thought was going to do it for you. I mean, my bazooka, I guess, is more of a threat to them than I thought because it can shoot across this whole table. But they theoretically are a good way to suppress me. So I guess if I was doing it again, in the hindsight of everything we have, I think I would recommend that you use them every turn to drop suppressions on me and just advance the infantry as fast as you can. But even with that, you're in a lot of trouble on the way in. Like, you kind of had to do everything at once. Get smoke down, get suppression out, get people moving.
Yeah, so some of the sequencing might have been I should have brought on the knee mortars first, known a little bit more about those. If you want, we can just say, just to show people how it works for the bazooka, we can say your bazooka hits me, you would get 7 dice, and I would get.
Okay, I missed by 1 when I shot at him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so sad.
And I have these 95s only have a 4 armor.
So you roll 4 dice in opposition?
Yeah, so here you would roll.
So I rolled my 7 dice.
Right, and then on.
I see an IS-2. I bet you wish you had that.
It's in the open, you hit on 5s and above. So how
So I
many?
hit you 3 times.
3 times. So now I get my 4 dice in defense.
Okay.
Having to roll 5 and 6s.
So you need 3 or more of those? So you missed by 1 compared to me. You got 2 5s and 6s, I got 3. Does that
Right.
what does that mean?
So you're 1 over,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're a net 1 over.
Mm-hmm.
So then now you would roll a
Die.
d6 dice.
I got a 1.
A 1, you just gave me 1 point of shock.
Okay. I mean, I get a lot more dice than you, so theoretically I have a pretty good chance of doing some work. What would happen if I rolled a 2?
So since you're only a net 1 over, on a 1, 2, 3, it's a point of shock. On a 4, a point of shock, and you damage my engine. On a 5, you take out my hull MG. On a 6, a point of shock, and you stun my commander.
So I need to be a fair bit over to start doing real damage.
Yeah, to really immobilize, you have to be a net 3 over.
Got it. So this is rough, but I see how maybe there's a different approach that would have done better. Yeah. But it does really feel like this game was made to be played with a lot of terrain and a lot more maneuvering. Or I should say a lot more focusing down elements in certain areas. Because what I noticed is that I have my full repertoire of firepower is always available to shoot at all of you.
Yep.
So that it's just going back and forth with me, kind of mowing you down.
Comments on that.
Yes.
One guy says, Brian says, like, move tactically, and then Little War
says that cross open ground is always hard.
True.
That's very true.
Yeah.
The problem is that you have all this armor. It feels like it's really hard to pin me with it. But if you're just guaranteed a suppression, that's probably how I would use it. You just lay your suppression out.
And moving tactical, but it's only it's a D6, and it basically gives me a level of cover.
Yeah.
So then I'm only moving a D6. So unless I'm
I feel like if I was you, I would book it and take the shock. Honestly.
Yeah. So there might have been a case where when I had a challenge, I might have tried to take a book and get over in that hard cover.
Oh yeah, I'd be like trying to be infantry forward and suppress and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's really tough because then it's like. But then I have to get the right command dice so I can maybe
hard to do it
run 2
quickly.
squads at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have support because otherwise then I get a squad isolated over there. You're not worried about the guys back here. You focus on the one squad that's the furthest forward.
I'm with you.
But that's kind of like things don't go always coordinated together.
It's hard to cross an airfield with infantry.
But you're right. I think a little bit more training, but I think everybody sees where the command dice force you to make decisions of what to do and not to do and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
It's still a fun game.
Awesome.
And I enjoy it. So
great.
Thanks for inviting me over.
Thank you for playing. And teaching. I feel like I know this game better, for sure.
We'll stay at a Holiday Inn next time and do a little bit better.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thank you.
Sean.
No, thank you.
Always.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching out there and joining us in this kind of different approach to our live stream tonight. We hope to see everyone at Historicon if you're going. And if you are, come up to me, mention you've been on a live stream, and I can give you a Mark's Game Room patch. We're happy to give them out.
Heck yeah.
So we're going to rally up. Maybe we'll try this again or something. And Pete hasn't played it, so we're going to have to give him a try. So we'll see you at Historicon, I hope. If not, check out all our great videos. We got some great stuff coming. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you there.
Take care.
Hope to see you, folks. Take care. Good night.
Turn off the screen.
All right. So rough.